You are tuned in to Kids in the Pit. Hey guys, it's Gabe from the Kids in the Pit podcast. Today I am joined by Travis Shettel from the band Piebald. Let's go. Hey Travis, I'm Gabe. I'm 10 and just getting into punk and hardcore. Mind if I ask you some questions about your musical career?
Please do. I'm ready.
So, what do you do in the band Piebald?
I play guitar and sing, and every once in a while I play piano, but mostly guitar and singing.
Oh, so how long has Piebald been a band?
Well, we started in 1994, so almost 30 years now, but we did take some breaks in there. But if you want to be not specific about it, we could say 28 years.
Okay. So, what the heck does Piebald mean?
Piebald means spotted of opposite colors. I saw it in a book when I was in high school, and I had never seen the word before, so I looked it up, and that was the meaning, and it usually has to do with breeds of horses or snakes, sometimes dogs, but it's like a spotting pattern that animals can have.
Oh, so I'm gonna see you guys at the fest in October in Florida. I've only heard a couple songs from your band. For those not familiar with Piebald, what song should they look up?
Oh, I would say they should look up the one that you had a you knew a little bit, but there's a song called American Hearts, which I think if you know Piebald at all, that's probably the song you've heard, but it's also a good introductory piece of music to familiarize yourself with our band. And we'll certainly play it at both of our sets. So
Okay. So, what is your favorite place you've toured in and why?
I think I know Europe isn't specific, but I guess I'll go with Germany. Germany's probably my favorite place, and I think it's because the culture of Europe and yeah, Europe more so than the United States is one where the venue and the people who are promoting the show, they take care of you a little more. There's a sense of like community more so than in the United States when you get to a club and they're like, throw your gear here, do this, play the show, and then you leave. There is a more communal feeling to Germany and places in Europe.
Yeah. I'd love to go to Germany sometime.
I'm sure
So,
you'll be to, especially because you like music so much. I'm sure you can say, "Oh, I'm going to go to a festival and also get to go to Europe and see places and hear music." So I'm sure you'll go to Europe at some point.
I actually play guitar, so
There you go. Maybe you can go by playing music.
maybe. So, what was your first concert and how old were you?
Well, if you, I don't know if this would count as a concert, but in second grade, I played at a school talent show, and I played Axel F, which I think was on Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack, but I played it on piano. But first real concert, I was in a band with Aaron from Piebald, but we were in a band together before Piebald called Dork Knob, which is not the best name, but it's real. And we played a show at the
Funny.
Red, yeah. And then we played a show at the Red Barn in North Andover, and I'm guessing that was probably around 1993. But the Red Barn was an awesome little venue that many bands would go through, and Piebald played lots of shows at. So it was a great little spot that we could have all the shows.
My first show, I mean like which not the first show you played, the first like show
Oh,
that you went to other than
that
television.
okay. Um, let's see. First show I went to was probably a Converge show, even though I don't think I can say that for sure, but they were kind of our heroes when we were growing up, and they were from the same town as us, and they often played in the area. So I have a feeling they were one of the first shows I saw in the, you know, early to mid 90s, and they were probably a pretty influential show to for me to see as a kid.
Oh, my mom knows them. She sold merch for them at Furnace Fest.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we've known them for a long time. Not as close as we used to be with those guys, but great band, good dudes, and yeah, they keep pumping out great records. I'm proud of them.
Nice. So, what is a band you suggest other people no, other people see live?
I would absolutely suggest seeing Cave In. I think they're terrific. Who else can I think of that I've seen recently? My friend's band called Giant Waste of Man. I think you should see them. They have a new record coming out. Who else? Who else? Um, I just saw the Circle Jerks last weekend, and they were surprisingly good. I was like, this is awesome. I get to see Circle Jerks, and they were great. So, but those are three that come to mind right now, immediately.
Oh, so some non-music related questions. Where do you live?
I live in New Orleans. I have for the last 5 years, but I lived in Los Angeles before that, and Massachusetts, Boston in particular before that. So I've lived a few different places here.
Oh, I've always thought it was pronounced New Orleans.
You can say it anyway. I think they're all acceptable, and I know there's some people that even say New Orleans.
Oh.
So I've heard it many different ways. So I don't think anyone's wrong here. I think you can interpret the reading of New Orleans however you like.
Okay. So if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
If I could have a superpower, what would it be? I guess it would be to learn from my mistakes before I make them.
Oh. Mine
That
would
would be really helpful.
Mine would be being able to teleport.
Yeah, that also would be very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could go anywhere very quickly. Who cares about, you don't need a plane or a car. You just teleport. You'd
And
save thousands of dollars.
you don't need a passport because you could just teleport and blend in.
Yeah, teleport, and you go right through customs. You say, I want to teleport from here to anywhere, and then you're already there, and you don't have to worry about all the legal
Yeah,
stuff.
you can just
where you're
travel for free.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. Hopefully, you can work that superpower out. That would be awesome.
So, what's your favorite food?
Seafood is my favorite, but I really like boiled crabs. Yum.
Mine are definitely bagels with cream cheese.
Delicious. I love bagels with cream cheese. I have some in my fridge right now.
Yeah, they're very good. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is kind of odd question, but is water wet?
Uh, no, water makes things wet,
Exactly.
but it does seem like it's wet, but I know it makes things wet. I know that's like if we're getting into science here. But when I touch it, it feels wet. But is that my finger being made wet by the water?
Yeah, it's your finger being coming wet.
Well, if water isn't wet, is it dry?
Well, no, it can't be either.
Well, it's got to be something.
Yeah, I don't really know. It's weird.
I mean, me neither. I'm just trying to dig deeper and see if we have a new question. Yeah, I guess water isn't wet. It makes things wet, but it sure seems if it has that power that it too would then be wet.
I guess.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know either here. We better ask somebody who's more intelligent than
scientist.
we are.
So, if you had a time machine, would you travel to the future or the past?
I would travel to the past.
Oh,
I
I don't
think
really know what if I'd travel to the future or the past.
I think if I was you, I would travel to the future. And if
Oh.
I was me, I'd travel the past.
Also, what time would you want to travel to in the past?
I would probably want to travel to see a younger version of me to give him some advice. So I think I would try to travel to like the late 80s.
Oh, what would you tell him?
I think I'd say you're going to make a bunch of mistakes and you're still going to turn out all right and everything's okay. So don't think when the world is crumbling that it really is. You just haven't worked everything out yet.
Yeah. So, would you like to add anything before we end the podcast?
Just that I really appreciated you having me on here and I can't wait to meet you at the fest. We're going to party.
Yeah. Well, thanks to Travis for joining me today. Thanks to all of you for watching or listening. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Spotify and other streaming platforms. Until next week, bye.